man, if there's anything and the opportunity that I've been afforded through building this stuff, it's to grow other people. And the first thing that I learned is that I'm not great at it. And so there I have this ability to really hone my own skill set to maximize and to bring out the most out of everybody on my team. When you're given a handful of A players and you're given a title of team leader, but they're A players, it's like, what do you have to do? But when you've got a team that is learning and they come in, they don't even know the business, and you can communicate with them in a way that they feel supported, that they feel like they're valued, that they feel like they're learning something, then you're starting to succeed, and as that filters down to the people that you bring on board, you can identify their ability to do that, because ultimately I know that my core competency is not as a strong communicator. I can communicate and I can be compassionate and engage with my team, but I am not a solid teacher. I don't fundamentally convey messages adapted in a way that it works for everybody on my team. But I recognize that in somebody, and I can bring that person in. So what's exciting about building, starting from that 6-figure to 7-figure and then 7-figure hitting the mid 8s, is the opportunity to really understand who I am in an organization, how I can facilitate growth of this entity, which is something that I'm extraordinarily passionate about, but also have everybody on that team achieve their dreams along the way, right? I want them, if this thing can, and this core group, this team that I have, gets to travel the world, gets to put their college education for their kids in a nice bank account and still enjoy their own finer things that they want to do, mission accomplished. I tell you that for sure.
And you're living that right now. I mean, this coming
Sure.
You're going to be bringing your team out, and I mean, the experience that you've explained to me that they're going to have is something that, number one, they could probably never afford to do on their own.
Yeah.
Two, it's going to bond them. Like the number one reason to get people
Yeah.
together in an annual meeting is to create a bond within the company, because when people are bonded, they do far more to grow the company, right? Because they're not just working as individuals anymore. Now they know people personally and they're working as a team. The second big reason for an annual meeting is to set the vision, to explain what's been happening, to reward everybody, right? With recognition. I'm not talking about handing out checks, but with recognition and saying, hey, I want so much to help you to have the life and the future that you want to have, that's why we're here. That's why we came to this place, because this was some place that I thought everybody would love to share. Now let's talk about what you really want to achieve and how the company's going to help you achieve it. And now let's talk about how that fits into where the company is going, right? And we build this marriage between their life, the path that they need to walk, and the path that brings us to our goal. And when we align those two, people take it personally, and they do so much more to grow. So that's exciting. Hey, so the number one thing from what I'm hearing you say, which is something that I believe in, the number one thing to focus on to grow a company is to focus on developing people.
Yep. Yeah. That, and that I always run parallels between my old life and my new life. That gets lost somewhere along the way in some organizations. You do nothing without people, and case in point is my own experience in starting out in business. I simply could not succeed without the help of other people around me. And at that point in time, yes, you're just a group of people, and you're like, hey, can you get this done? Thanks for your help. You try to be grateful for their assistance and that kind of stuff, but you're not really contributing to their life other than they're taking a paycheck or what have you. But when you really help people achieve their own vision for their life, and part of your mission as a CEO, COO, visionary, whatever you want to call these various terms that are out there these days, when you hold that close to your heart and get satisfaction out of that, you're going to see, in my opinion, some very people who are committed to your own, and again aligned, but committed to the growth of that organization, that entity, and then do really, really phenomenal work. And what's exciting for me right now is through our last team meeting, which really wasn't that structured. It was kind of our first kick at the cat. Is it cat or can? Nah, I don't know. Anyways, instead of just being a group of people, you watch this evolution of the development of a team where it's just individuals, and we'll touch on this more, I'm sure, but you're just a group of people doing a common thing, to now you're this team where you're starting to really know each other and look after each other, and taking care of those things, and somebody batting cleanup for somebody else to make sure the job gets done so that this entity, this brand can flourish. It's exciting just to listen to these different personalities that are so fundamentally different on opposite sides of the spectrum, to watch them collaborate and to respect each other's differences. It's exciting stuff. It's really exciting stuff.
So let's go into that, because this is, as you know, a passion of mine. I start to geek out when I talk about developing leaders. And so I'll try not to go too deep into the rabbit hole here, but sure. But it's a huge topic, and it's a great topic. The challenge is that when you talk to somebody who's struggling to break the $1 million mark, or who has a successful product and is bringing in $1 or $2 or $3 million, and they think, I'm a freaking rock star. This is good shit. Like, I could do this shit, and sit on the beach and work. When you talk to them and you say, hey, let's develop a team, let's develop a culture. Oh my God. Well, I'm not big enough to have a culture. I'm not big enough to have a team. I run everything with independent contractors. And that's okay. Right. Sure. So I've got companies where we have a lot of employees. I also have companies where we have just independent contractors, or a combination of independent contractors and vendors and employees. And everything can work incredibly well. The definition of team could be any of that, could be a combination of any of that. No matter what stage of growth you're at, we all need an unbiased review of what's working and also what might not be working anymore in our business. Because the greatest cause of stagnation in any company, the reason most companies hit plateaus in their growth, is because they fail to see the roadblocks that stop momentum in its tracks.